Okay, better. So, in that moment, I saw all this gold light, and we were like hanging on to hands. You could see like people hanging on to hands, literally hanging on to hands. And there was a sensation of just like soothing and telling them, like, this is exactly where we're supposed to be. This is exactly what's supposed to be happening. I know it looks scary, but it's okay. Trust me. Let's talk. Let's, have conversations. Let me answer some questions.
Yeah.
you know and then also really understanding, like, it was kind of like a download in that moment where we're consoling, yet at the same time pulling back and really letting people figuring it out,
Yeah.
not trying to do it for them, but like really helping them usher in the higher vibrational energies and teaching them how to access it, and then making sure, that they have us when they need us, yes, but they're going to want to be alone a lot. They're going to want to heal. I mean, they're literally going through the exact journey we went through in a span of 2-3 years, and they're going to do it in a month or two. It's going to be very intense. And so I just felt in that moment this very strong and overwhelming desire to love them. And by them, I just mean anybody who needs help, anybody who's seeking, anybody who finds themselves in confusion, anybody that needs a little reassurance, that loses sight of God, that loses sight of the God within. Because I think that there's going to be a lot more than we imagine.
Well, I think the people that are close to us, you know, before all of this started happening, the end times, we've talked about what's coming. We've talked about the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
So to keep the eye on the prize when, yes, this is going to be challenging, and if they have questions, let them have questions, let them come to you.
Yeah.
Give them the tools, but they've got to walk the steps.
Yes.
But, we've given them enough seeds
Yeah.
to where once they start getting through it, then we can guide them to the other side. This is what we've been talking about, the new energy, the new earth.
Well, the people in your life are going to see and be activated by what they are seeing.
Yeah.
And the seeds that you have planted in conversation are, and even in energy work together, are much deeper than just seeds. They are knowings that are inside their heart, and yet because there's not a purified energy in their heart chakra when it comes to their self-love and ability to believe that these things are able to happen in their lifetime, they keep themselves in a state of cognitive dissonance, so they push it away. But the moment that there is physical proof, if you will, that this energy, this shift that you've been talking about is in full manifestation mode now, it's going to be undeniable. And we would like to bring forward that Crystal was downloading this earlier. She was tuning into this energy node that the collective has moved into. The other day, she told you we had a timeline hop, if you will. We like to call it more of an acceleration, a wormhole that pulls you from one side of a timeline into another. And so you did move in through this timeline very, very quickly, and it brought you to the node. And the node is a timestamp, if you will, of where a certain event or events unfold.
Is it just that the timing has changed, or how it's going to process has changed? Like, what was it before and where are we at now?
The timeline that was going to be experienced in the highest good of the collective previously was going to be the disclosure of a lot of political events and manipulation through the government. And that disclosure was going to open a lot. But at that time, that was the highest unfolding of these light energies to begin to come into the planet and manifest. But the awakening is happening at such a quickened pace that you are able to move into a higher vibrational frequency. And so the unfolding of this light through the avenue of politics on the planet is no longer the highest path. And so while you will see some of that unfolding, you will see more of the new earth energy coming through Jasara. And we believe that is what you are about to experience. While some of the unfolding will happen, the energy has now shifted from a manifestation through more of the political avenue into more of global freedom.
Is that as the transition itself from moving from one system to Nasara Jasara? Is that gonna scare people? You know, because for a hot
Well,
minute,
if you're
the
in
banks
fear,
are gonna
anything is going to scare you.
But if are there going to be shifts like, oh, people can't get their money, and or is it going to move more simply?
I mean, that may be in pocketed areas that's happening, but if so, people will know why. People will know why that there's being a shift in the monetary system.
Oh, so they're going to know
Oh
up
yeah.
front that this is a
You're-
beautiful thing.
You're on the verge
Okay.
of everything coming out right now, and that's why we're saying some of the disclosure will still happen. It's just not going to be the primary catalyst of what's fueling this shift. While that will be unfolding into the collective mindset that's focusing on it, the energy that will truly be pushing the collective into the higher realms will be the unveiling of Jasar and Nasara.
Ah,
And that is the timeline shift.
that's fantastic.
You were going to have to go through some disclosure inside of the political avenues to even allow for Jasara to be able to be brought forward. But now you are in a different vibrational state of occurrences.
Where we'll move into the new earth much quicker and
Yes.
easier than
Way
the chaos.
quicker.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Way quicker. And this is why we say, because you have moved into these higher frequencies, that the timeline is moved into a higher path. So it's almost as though there was a wormhole that kind of allowed you to bypass what a lot we're seeing as disclosure, and move yourself into this opening of Jasara Nasara, which will have disclosure mixed in because it's still in the collective manifestation. It's still in the highest good of all to have a knowing. But you can have a knowing as you have a lot of beautiful things opening in your life that will, yes, still create some confusion and still create a split in energy for some, but it will be much less than going through the fear propaganda that is associated with the political realm on your planet at this time.
Wow, so we're literally playing in a whole different realm.
Yes. And still choosing to create by default by focusing on what is. And this is why we guide all of you powerful creators to maintain your focus on the energies that you are grounding into the grid at this time. Because in that, you have power. And watching what is, you have observing and absorbing. There is no power, there is no creation. And again, we don't want to say don't focus on it because you have the will to do exactly as you choose. But know that each time you place your focus or awareness on anything, you create chords of creation. Remind yourself of what you're doing and remind yourself of why you're here.
Well, I think I see things differently just from a new perspective now, where before, in my mind, it's kind of exciting for things, for disclosure to happen, because in my mind, we're shifting forward. But coming from a new perspective, that, keep your eye on the prize with Nasara Jasara. Yes, of course, there's going to be a little bit of disclosure. Things do have to come out, but they can come out a lot more gracefully.
Yes.
I love that. To just keep it simple.
And we will bow our heads in gratitude and honor to all of the light workers and way showers, starseeds, ground warriors who have stood their ground and reclaimed their sacred energy in the midst of this. Whether you woke up now or whether you woke up 20 years ago, and whether you're waking up tomorrow afternoon, there is a there is a gathering of yourself that needs to happen that for many can seem like a long road, no matter which way you look at it. But we also would like to say that in the burning down, you are able to see what is real. And so while it may have felt raw to lose your internal illusion, look at the clarity that has been gifted. And the same is true for the collective that will wake up tomorrow morning and the day after that, and maybe next week, and maybe the week after that.
Yeah, don't get stuck on a timeline. I was feeling, before it felt like disclosure has to happen and then blah, blah, blah. And then the light energy comes in the spring. But I was feeling this morning, it feels like that light energy is, I'm not talking about the event specifically, but I'm just saying it just felt like the energy is here now to support us. I was feeling it energetically.
Yes.
What you're saying.
Yeah. The light is a direct representation of the energy, the information that is held within the God force. And the God force in itself had always planned for you to be a fractal of itself experiencing. And so, of course, you would be the vessel that would be bringing in the light. Every opening you have, you bring more light to this planet. Every time you choose love over fear, you ground more love on this planet. You ground more source, more higher energy, more universal information. Because you're getting yourself out of the way of this information, this light, and allowing it to come in and just be, to be experienced in your body. You do not need a projection of any energy to feel or know that it is real. So the energy this morning that you are feeling, when you're feeling the light, this opening, this higher vibrational frequency start to come in, that is you. That is you giving yourself you. That is the God force within you being projected within your heart as you continue to open, so that you can further decide how to now present yourself as the essence that you are instead of the personality that you were.
I should do that more often.
Just let it in. Keep letting it in.
It's exciting to think about, especially in other countries that don't have it near as well as we do, the freedom that they're going to have.
And the freedom that you will all have to be outside of your mind, to be outside of your constructs of limitation. The interesting thing is there are people that have less freedoms than you per se, yet they have more freedom of thought. And so they live in a realm that experiences way more freedom than you. How ironic.
Also, the homeless are more free. They don't have bills to pay. But
In our dimension, we don't have bills to pay either, and you do not look at us the way you look at the homeless. So we would soothe that energy as much as you can. Having bills to pay is not a very good marker to judge your success.
True that.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Stay light. Connect in your heart. Turn everything off. Play your games. Do your puzzles. Channel. Walk. Let Crystal light her stinky things.
Oh man, but the headaches. That's real.
Yeah, you'll be fine. It's clearing your chakras.
It's clearing my crown chakra.
Yeah, it really is. And your third eye. And your throat. And if you could allow yourself a little bit more alignment, you wouldn't have such a strong reaction. It is true. You do have those physical sensations come forward. But it is your resistance. And she's okay doing it when you're not in the house, though, too.
She's okay doing it when I'm in the house, too.
And she is. Because she's aware that you need it at times. She's aware that you need your field cleared more efficiently. And just like the sunscreen, you are not as willing. All is well. Stay clear. Stay clear in your heart. Let everybody have their experience. Show up when you're needed. And if you can't show up in a state of love, if you cannot show up in a state of hopefulness, in a state of light, then allow yourself the timing that you need, no matter how long, to soothe and heal and nurture and give yourself the divine mother that you need until you are ready to come forward. You are supported. Stay grounded. We are with you.
That's good.
She's just crying.
It's just I was feeling hopeful for the other countries, and then my heart meter just went ew. And then they said, oh, now while she's open, let's bitch slap her with it. You need more chakra opening with the incense. That stinky shit giving you headache. It's opening your crown, biatch. Pew.
Well, you can be stubborn to your higher feminine chakras. You know this. It wouldn't be that wrong for them to say it.
First off, let's start with this. Does Crizzle Baby channeling, or is it just Crizzle Baby? She's like, oh, yeah, and we know this clearing your crown. That's Crizzle. She ain't channeling. That's just Crizzle. I'm going to burn this shit with that one because it's helping you.
First of all, Crizzle Baby, Cardi B. Crizzle Baby doesn't care. I will light it. I don't care.
I believe I said that.
Whether your crown chakra needed it or not, I would still light it.
She said,
Clean this house. It's too many. And sometimes that means you too. And if you're running out the fucking door every time I light the sage, then the sage is working.